This is CES MMA.
All right, we're ready for bout number 2 here at New Blood, presented by Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Entertainment and Sports. And this one is in the bantamweight division. We got a battle of the young and the older. And right now you're looking at the youth in Joshua AARONS, 25 years old, out of Williamsport, PA. 5'4", weighed in yesterday at 131 pounds. He fights out of Freelance in Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania rather. And the record right now not looking too sharp at 1-6. Hasn't won a fight since 2010, and in fact has lost his last 6 fights. And 2 of those losses came by submission, both in his last 2 fights, but only knocked out once, and that was in 2010. So for Josh AARONS, he comes in trying to get off the schneid a bit and get back in the win column. It will be tough. Now, AARONS is one of 2 fighters from Williamsport on this card fighting out of the same gym. The other would be Lewis Rumsey, who's coming in the light heavyweight division. He's on a take on Greg Ribs Rebello later tonight in the co-feature here at New Blood.
Side, excuse me, sir. A couple on, right? Oh, good. Can you just put the string in the shorts for me? I don't want to do that. All right, across the cage, man. Good luck to you.
All right, AARONS makes the slow crawl inside the cage. Again, coming in out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania at 1-6. Has lost his last 6 fights, so it's been a tough stretch for him. And it's going to get much tougher tonight against the veteran Joe REVERDES, who's about to make his way to the cage. All right, here is Joe REVERDES. Now, you may know Joe REVERDES from typically setting up the cage. Here at Twin River tonight, he fights inside of it. You see his corner, Mike Resch, Pete Jeffrey from Triforce, and William Sukumta, who of course coaches so many fighters in Muay Lao. REVERDES obviously the veteran in this matchup, and he did win his first pro fight in August. He beat Anthony Carminetti by unanimous decision. One of the more impressive performances of the night on the undercard as well. And tonight takes on the younger Josh AARONS, who despite having more pro experience does not have the overall veteran experience of Joe REVERDES. Again, REVERDES coming in at 39 years young, as he would like you to say, and still looks great at any age. Right now getting prepped up last minute by William Sukumta before he steps inside there. REVERDES will have the height advantage on his side. He comes in at 5'10". AARONS coming in at 5'4". REVERDES may or may not be able to use that to his advantage. We will find out. AARONS again comes in having lost his last 6, so it's an ideal matchup for REVERDES to possibly get his record back to 500. Here is the tail of the tape. Once again, Josh AARONS coming out of Williamsport, PA. Joe REVERDES fighting out of Providence, Rhode Island at 1-2. Weighed 130.5 yesterday. Let's send it down to Bill Carpenter for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fineo Inc. bout, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the cage, bantamweights. Your referee for this contest is Keith Peterson. Introducing the red corner first, wearing camouflage trunks, weighing in at 131 pounds, seeking his second professional win here this evening, representing Team Vicious. He comes to us tonight from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Here is Joshua, Florida Boy AARONS. His opponent across the cage to my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with red. He weighed in at 130.5 pounds. Tonight, he also enters the cage looking for his second professional win, representing Cape Cod Fighting Alliance. He makes his home in Providence, Rhode Island. Introducing Joe REVERDES. 3 5-minute rounds, bantamweights.
All right, here we go. Round number 1 of the bantamweight division. Josh AARONS in the camouflage trunks. Joe REVERDES in the white and red. Fighting again at the 135-pound limit of the bantamweight division. Last time we saw REVERDES, he massively executed those rare leg kicks and jabs. We'll see if he establishes that same philosophy against AARONS. And again, REVERDES has a height advantage. A good 5-6 inches on the shorter AARONS. Both fighters just feeling each other out here. As you heard Pete Jeffrey yell from the corner, just trying to get comfortable with their surroundings. Just under a minute into the opening round. REVERDES feinting that leg kick and then dives in with the right, misses. Again, tries a left jab. AARONS backs up quickly. AARONS at his height and age, rather, very elusive, tough to catch. Nice double jab by REVERDES with the left hand as AARONS trying to come in and deliver the hook to the midsection. This fight in stark contrast to the opening bout. Neither fighter going in for the takedown just yet. We've seen all the action standing up. Nice right-left combo by REVERDES. The left landed. Good rear leg kick by AARONS. And now AARONS gets caught, losing his balance on the rear leg kick. He's trying to maintain his leverage and get on top of REVERDES here. AARONS with side mount, just under 3 minutes to go in the opening round. REVERDES has an opening for some elbows here. Needs to stay busy while on the ground. That's one of the keys. And you see there, maybe trying to use that right elbow to push AARONS' head down. AARONS doing the same with his right elbow, now trying to drive that right knee into the rib cage. REVERDES doing a nice job trying to block. Doesn't have that left arm down far enough to block it, so that midsection is exposed. 2:20 to go in round number 1. AARONS has taken control briefly after losing his balance on a rear leg kick and going down. It could have been a dangerous transition for him, but he gained his composure quickly and got on top of REVERDES, and he's had this side mount for almost a minute. Not able to do much with it other than to keep REVERDES down. REVERDES trying to fight back with the elbows. You see that right elbow again to the temple. AARONS driving those knees into the midsection, which is exposed. REVERDES' left arm is above AARONS' side. And now you see REVERDES trying to get that left arm down. Unable to do so, and AARONS maintains that side mount. So now Reverde's lifting those knees up to try to block those knees of AARONS. And again, there's that left knee to the rib cage. Just trying to soften Reverde's up here in this opening round. AARONS has gained control since about the 4-minute mark and has had side mount for most of this round. Not a ton of action in this spot, but he's maintained that side control. Reverde's trying to back into the cage, briefly turning for a second. But as he does it leaves that rib cage open. AARONS delivers a right and a left. It's been a tough spot for Reverde's here in this opening round. 24 seconds to go. And again, it's just constant knees by AARONS to the rib cage. Reverde's now trying to use the cage for leverage with that right leg, unable to do so. And it looks like we're going to go into round 2 with AARONS just maintaining side control for the better part of that opening round. And that will do it. The bell rings. Early takedown by AARONS after regaining his composure, and he dominates round 1 in the latter stage. So a good opening round for Joshua AARONS. Let's listen in and hear the cornerman and his instruction.
You gotta let the kick go.
Take a drink, take a deep breath.
You heard the instruction from William Sukumta to let that kick go. A couple of times in an opening round, I think Reverde's looked hesitant. More or less was feigning the kick and trying to land the right hand instead. And that may have cost him in the opening round. At least it cost him 1 round in the books. We'll see if he can rebound in round number 2. And right now I'm being joined by my broadcast partner, Scott Ream. A successful pro debut for Scott's fighter, Brian Sparrow. A very impressive performance.
Oh, thank you very much. Very proud of him. Very happy for him.
Right now, Scott, Joe Reverde's in a little bit of trouble down around. Joshua AARONS had side control for most of round number 1 after an early takedown. You heard William Sukumta in the corner telling Reverde's, let that leg go, let those kicks go.
Right,
if you remember
nice
that fight in August against Anthony Carminetti,
sure.
He really dominated with those rare leg kicks and jabs.
And he did him relaxed, and I think that's why he wants to do is just to let him go.
And there it is already, Reverde's with 2-3 kicks, more than you saw in the opening round, just in the first 30 seconds here of round number 2.
Nice inside leg kick there by Joshua. AARONS kind of fights with his chin up a little bit. He's looking a little bit, his chin's a little too high, and if you notice, you can see his mouthpiece. He's not biting down on it, his mouth's wide open. It's kind of dangerous. You even get clipped lightly with an open jaw, it can put you right down.
We'll see if Reverde's can let his hands go and take advantage. I'm sure he notices the same thing. Obviously the veteran of the sport, fighting at 39 years old.
I like the old guys. I love when the old guys are fighting. And by old, I mean mature.
Well, AARONS has that maturity as well. He's got 7 pro fights. He's lost his last 6, but certainly has seen a little bit of everything in his short tenure.
Oh, yeah. You can see AARONS' combinations are clean, but he's only throwing combinations of 2. Yeah, I'd like to see him put more than 2 strikes together. They look like he's just in deep enough. Nice inside leg kick to follow up with something behind him.
You hear Pete Jeffrey from the corner telling Reverde, so let his hands go.
You know, if Reverde's doesn't feel like it's time just yet, you can listen to your corner and go, I know, I'm just waiting. That's something. Maybe I see something. Or maybe he needed it to just be said a little louder.
Verdes just not letting it go thus far, Scott.
I don't understand. Well, it's not to me. There was the first
There
nice
it is.
4-strike combination. Well, maybe he sees something that we didn't. It takes a fighter a little while to, there's a nice Superman punch. It takes a fighter a little while to feel comfortable and find his rhythm, and maybe that was just what Joe needed, was just a few minutes to get there into the second round. Joe's holding that right hand a little low. If that right hand was held a little higher, it might come right over that left hand of Joshua's. He's throwing kind of loopy punches, not straight ones. I'd like to see some straight punches from the Verdes. But again, good defense by Aaron's. Aaron's doing a really good job slipping this off in footwork.
Very elusive.
Yep.
That's been the theme here for Aaron's. Getting out of the way of most of what Reverdes has had to offer.
It just doesn't look like Aaron wants to commit now. It looks like he wants to be the counterpuncher.
He does seem content with letting Reverdes at least try to strike first.
Well, the odd thing about being a counterpuncher is after you defend, you got to get off. You got to let your strikes go. He's doing a good job at defending it. That's what I'm waiting to see. But right now, he should be firing right back. Good defense, there it is. That's a good counterpunch.
30 seconds to go in round number 2. This one standing up the entire 5 minutes, or at least 4.5 minutes.
Superman lands again. That's working for Mr. Rivers.
2 big Superman punches in the second round. Tough round, but it appears that Reverdes may have evened the score here, Scott, by being the more active fighter, especially in the latter half of the round.
Right.
And there it is. We're going to the third and final round in the bantamweight division between Joshua Aarons and Joe Reverdes. Let's listen in and hear what Joshua Aarons' corner has to say.
You make him miss at will. So when you make him miss, don't stand there and admire it. Fire something. I don't care if it's a low kick, a high kick, a right hand, or hook. Make him miss and touch it. Make him miss. You make him miss at will.
He goes there, he's throwing that right left. All you gotta do is put it on top. Straight overhand right. Know your overhand right. All right, I'm trying. Listen, get inside. Just like you do in the gym, man. That's what I'm talking.
Listen, you got this fight, okay? He cannot touch it. Make him miss and make him
Well, you can hear Aaron's corner say exactly what you and I had spoken.
Yes.
Make him miss and counter. Make him miss, make him pay. That's the mantra.
Right, instead of admiring it, throw that
Exactly.
counter punch. That's exactly what you said midway through round number 2. We'll see if Aarons can listen up and heed his corner's advice. Big round for both fighters. It appears, at the very least, to the naked eye, this one is even after 2. And this could be the decider. Round 3 of this bantamweight battle. Joshua Aarons in the camouflage trunks, Joe Reverdes in the white, black, and red. And here we go. Reverdes' corner begging him to be more aggressive, and Aarons' corner begging him to counterpunch when he makes Reverdes miss. We'll see which side wins out. Nice counterpunch that time by Aarons with the left hook. He needs to see more of that. He
Nice
catches
sweep.
Reverdes' leg.
That was nice. Catching that and kicking out from underneath. Well done.
But Reverdes is tough on his back.
Well, Reverdes is great, really good. You see he's active on his back, and of course, Aaron's let him up. I don't like the way that, unless he's looping him in, I'm going to keep my mouth shut for a second. Nice, same thing.
Again.
Caught the lead leg and rear leg sweep. Well done by Aaron's.
The second time Aarons catches that leg. It's happened 3 times in this fight, second time in this round. And again, maintaining side control, much of what he did in round number 1. And Scott really just delivered those elbows and knees. It was a alternating of elbows and knees to soften up REVERDES.
Well, he has a dominant position right now. He's in half guard, and he looks to be content to work from half guard.
And it's tough for REVERDES, even in this spot, without taking much damage. He's unable to be active and fight back.
Well, he needs to turn himself inside. He's working on it. He's trying to turn in. But you can see Aaron looking to try to hit that DOS choke right now. He's coming over the top. He's trying to cinch his hands. He might have it. The head's buried pretty deep. He needs to extend his hips. Aaron needs to extend his hips and torque his thumb. There it is.
There it is. You call it, Scott. Josh Aaron's chokes out Joe REVERDES in the third and final round. Just the second win for Josh Aaron, snapping a 6-fight losing streak. And you can see the excitement of someone who's lost as many times and had so many hard luck defeats to come here to Rhode Island and get a big win against the hometown favorite. That's huge for Josh Aaron's.
It's a big fight coming off of 1-6.
And Aaron's playfully taking down his corner man. And you can feel the excitement, and you got to feel happy for somebody who's certainly had a tough go of it.
Look how happy he is. You know, he deserved it. That was a tough fight. You know, Joe was doing very well. If you had to score the fight, at best, it's 1 apiece. It could have been 2-0.
We're going to take a look and see how it all went down, Scott. Take us through this final choke.
That's the finish right there. That's Aaron looking. Looks like he's got that DOS in deep, and he turned his thumb. His thumb's facing the wrong direction. That's why when he turns his thumb straight up to get the rib, the bone of your arm underneath the neck rather than the meat of your arm, and then to make that torque, that was the end of the fight.
It was hard to see from our angle, but REVERDES did tap out on the thigh, or the hamstring rather, of Aaron's, and that signaled the end of this one. So Josh Aaron's improves to 2-6. REVERDES drops to 1-3 with a loss. It's a great bounce back for Aaron's. REVERDES really had the momentum going into round number 3. He had taken round 2. It appeared to be his fight to lose, but it did not work out that way.
Look at a 1-6 fighter. What's his reason? What's his motivation for being here? He trained hard, and he did a great job.
Absolutely. Let's send it down to Bill Carpenter for the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute, 39 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by a guillotine submission, Joshua Florida Boy AARONS.